The Krexathi invasion fleet had descended upon Earth with the confidence of a species that had conquered 17 worlds. Their bioships, writhing masses of chitinous armor and pulsing flesh, blotted out the morning sun over Central Park. Citizens fled screaming as the first wave of devourers, 12-foot-tall nightmares with crystalline claws and acid breath, crashed into the streets of Manhattan. Marcus Thompson, however, simply yawned. The construction worker sat on a park bench, methodically unwrapping his turkey and Swiss sandwich. He'd been eating lunch in this same spot for 3 years, and some oversized space bugs weren't going to change his routine. The morning coffee hadn't quite kicked in yet, and his shift didn't end for another 4 hours. "Mortals!" The voice boomed from the largest bioship, a mountain of writhing tentacles and blinking eyes. "We are the Krexathi. Your world is now ours. Surrender and your death will be swift." Marcus took a bite of his sandwich and checked his phone. 3 missed calls from his wife, probably wondering if he was okay. He'd call her back after lunch. The park's sprinkler system had kicked on automatically, creating a fine mist that felt refreshing against the heat radiating from the alien ships. A devourer landed 20 feet away, its impact cratering the sidewalk. The creature's 6 eyes focused on Marcus with predatory hunger. Acid dripped from its mandibles, hissing as it hit the ground. It let out a bone-chilling shriek that shattered nearby windows. Marcus glanced up from his sandwich. "You mind? I'm trying to eat here." The devourer paused, confusion evident even in its alien features. In 17 conquest campaigns, prey had never responded with mild annoyance. They screamed, they fled, they begged. They didn't complain about noise levels during lunch breaks. On the command ship, Supreme War Leader Zixthak watched through his creature's eyes. "Human," the Krexathi leader broadcasted directly into Marcus's mind, his telepathic voice dripping with malice. "Do you not comprehend your situation? We have destroyed civilizations that spanned galaxies. Your primitive weapons cannot harm us. Your military is already in retreat. You sit before a perfect killing machine." Marcus chewed thoughtfully, then swallowed. "Look, buddy, I've been doing demolition work for 15 years. You want to talk about killing machines? Last month I took down a 40-story building with 3 carefully placed charges. Took me more planning than your whole invasion seems to have had." He gestured toward the devourer with his sandwich. "This thing? My ex-wife was scarier at her divorce lawyer's office. At least she was smart enough to aim for my wallet instead of trying to intimidate me with weird bug noises." The devourer's mandibles clicked uncertainly. Across 17 worlds this moment, the revelation of overwhelming power had always broken the enemy's spirit. It was the cornerstone of Krexathi psychological warfare. "You dare mock us?" Zixthak's mental voice turned arctic. "Witness our power." He commanded every devourer in the city to simultaneously release their most terrifying war cry. The sound was apocalyptic. Windows exploded for miles. Car alarms wailed in harmony. The noise was designed to trigger primal terror in any thinking creature. Marcus winced and covered one ear. "Jesus, that's loud. You guys never heard of noise ordinances?" From his bench, he watched National Guard units retreat from advancing devourers. News helicopters circled at what they thought was a safe distance. The usual chaos of an alien invasion unfolded around him. "Tell you what," Marcus said, standing up and brushing crumbs off his work pants. "I've got about 10 minutes left on my lunch break. You want to know why you picked the wrong planet?" The devourer leaned closer, perhaps finally sensing something important in this strange human's calm demeanor. Marcus pointed to the construction site across the street. "See that building we're tearing down? 40 floors, 10,000 tons of concrete and steel. Took us 6 months to plan the demolition perfectly." He smiled. "Your ships? They're just floating in predictable patterns, no evasive maneuvers. Probably held up by some kind of anti-gravity that needs constant power." Zixthak felt the first flutter of unease. "What are you implying, human?" "I'm not implying anything. I'm telling you." Marcus pulled out his phone and opened a specific app. "See, while you were making scary noises and giving your big speech, my supervisor was coordinating with some very interested government officials. Turns out when aliens invade during a scheduled demolition, sometimes the schedule moves up." The devourer's 6 eyes widened as Marcus's thumb hovered over a large red button on his phone screen. "The thing about humans," Marcus continued conversationally, "is we've gotten really, really good at breaking things. And your ships are hovering right over a building that's been pre-rigged with enough explosives to level 6 city blocks." Zixthak's telepathic scream of realization came too late. Marcus pressed the button. The explosion was magnificent. The building collapsed upward in a carefully orchestrated sequence, debris and shaped charges creating a column of destruction that punched through 3 bioships like a concrete fist through tissue paper. The ship's organic hulls evolved to deflect energy weapons, proved remarkably vulnerable to high-velocity chunks of rebar and concrete. The remaining ships lurched skyward in panic, but the chain reaction had already begun. Damaged bioships leaked their atmospheric contents, which turned out to be highly flammable when mixed with Earth's oxygen. Secondary explosions lit up the Manhattan sky. Marcus sat back down and unwrapped the second half of his sandwich. Around him, the tide of battle shifted as human forces realized the aliens weren't as invincible as they'd appeared. The Devourers, suddenly cut off from their command ship's psychic network, began fighting more like confused animals than coordinated soldiers. His phone buzzed. A text from his wife. Saw the news. "You okay?" He typed back, "Fine, lunch ran a bit long. Home at usual time." As the Krexathi fleet retreated in disarray, their war leader's final transmission echoed across all frequencies. How did one human destroy our invasion? Marcus finished his sandwich and checked the time. 5 minutes left on his break. "Same way we do everything else," he said to no one in particular. Very carefully and with the right tools. He crumpled up his lunch wrapper and walked back to work. The cleanup crews would be here soon, and somebody had to show them where all the building's structural weak points were. After all, there was still a job to finish.